In this majestic corner of southeastern Utah lies a 76,000-acre wonderland, boasting some of the world's most extraordinary rock formations, carved by water and wind over millions of years.
Got it!
Arches National Park is a tourist magnet. These days, only a lucky few make it in. The influx of visitors forcing the park to temporarily shut its gates almost daily.
7:30 we rolled in and we just missed it by a couple minutes. The park was closed.
Show up early this morning. It's pretty disappointing we can't get in.
This is my only vacation.
How does that make you feel?
Sad.
2021 will be our busiest year on record.
The crowds mean added challenges.
We are seeing a lot of first-time visitors, people who have never camped before. We see a lot of dogs on trail, drones in the park. We see a lot more trash in the park, and we do see graffiti.
That hasn't fazed families taking their first post-pandemic vacation.
Just feels good to be out doing stuff again.
Many are seeking out new thrills on nearby public lands.
That is a really vertical wall.
Let's see if we can climb it.
This is obviously a popular activity.
It is very popular.
Moab Cowboy Off-Road Adventures owner Kent Green says business is booming.
So people who can't get into Arches can do something like this instead.
They can either take a tour or go rent a Jeep or rent a side-by-side and come out on their own.
That's if they have the stomach for it. But Green is concerned about visitors who aren't informed or worse, ignore the rules.
We need to be able to enjoy our public lands as long as we use it with respect. Because you want to leave it like you found it. You want to be like you're the first person to be there.
Moab is bursting at the seams, and it's not just because of tourists. The draw of the great outdoors has lured remote workers and second home buyers, sending housing and rental prices soaring.
We have had a lot of people leave the community based on not being able to afford to live here.
Businesses are desperate for staff. The local McDonald's offering $18 an hour, more than double the state's minimum wage. The crisis means agencies responsible for managing public lands can't hire enough workers to deal with the crowds.
Is this a problem that's limited to Arches National Park?
Absolutely not. This is something that parks, especially the big national parks, are struggling with across the country.
The future of America's wild spaces hanging in the balance.
There will be a point where the experience here is just not enjoyable and people won't want to come.
No longer America's wild space, potentially.
Potentially, yes.
These iconic landscapes are America's national treasures. In the words of conservationist John Muir, the fountains of life.
This is a bucket list destination for people from all across the globe. You can see the crowds gathering here at Arches, but it's not just this national park. The National Park Service says it is expecting the busiest summer yet. Lucy Kafanov, CNN, Arches National Park in Utah.